So, for this explainer, we're diving into a really big question. What's the real relationship between a creator and, well, everything else? Our first instinct, the way we usually think about it, might be a little too simple.
When you think about it, the first thing that probably pops into your head is a pretty simple analogy. A creator is like a builder. They build something, and when the job's done, they walk away. The thing they made just stands on its own. But as we're about to see, that simple idea might be missing the entire point.
All right, so let's start by digging into this really common idea, what we'll call the builder model. So think about it like this. It's pretty straightforward, right? A builder puts up a house. Once the final nail is in, the work is finished. The builder packs up their tools and leaves. And now, the house just exists, completely independent of the person who made it. Creation is a one-and-done event, something that happened in the past. And if you follow that logic, you get to a pretty clear conclusion, don't you? If creation is a finished act, then the creator's ongoing presence just isn't necessary. The universe, once it was made, could just keep on trucking all by itself, even if the creator just, poof, vanished.
But this is where things get interesting. The source material we're looking at really challenges us here. It argues that this entire intuitive model is based on a huge misunderstanding of what it even means for something to need a cause in the first place.
This brings us to a much, much more profound idea of what need really is. It goes way deeper than just needing someone to get you started. The source material asks us to completely flip our perspective. What if the need for a source isn't about the past, about when something was made? What if it's about what that thing is, right here, right now? What if the need is actually an essential, ongoing part of its very nature?
And this brings us to a really important philosophical idea, a contingent being. So what is that? It's basically anything whose existence isn't its own. It's not self-sufficient. Its very essence, its nature, is defined by this constant need and its relationship to a source.
And here is the line from the source that it hits you. It says, a contingent being is not a thing that has a need, it is the need itself. Wow, that's the core idea. The need isn't some temporary feature, like a house needing a builder for a little while. No, the need is what the thing is. So once you start thinking that way, it really changes how you see everything. It suggests that existence isn't some static thing you just have, like a possession. It's more like a dynamic, active relationship you're constantly in. So let's just put these two ideas side by side, because they could not be more different. On one hand, you have the builder model, where need is temporary. It's just a historical fact about how something got started, and then it goes away. But on the other hand, you have this view where need is constant. It's essential. It's literally woven into the fabric of a thing's being, forever.
Okay, so if something is a need, what does that actually mean? Well, for one, it means it's in a constant, unbreakable relationship with its source. It's always dependent, and that's true whether it just popped into existence a second ago or if it's existed for eternity. It can never become self-sufficient. The source material calls that an impossible reversal of reality. So existence, then, isn't something you have. It's something you're constantly, continuously receiving.
All right, so if the whole builder model is flawed, what's a better analogy? The source gives us a couple of really powerful alternatives to help us wrap our heads around this constant relationship. So let's just toss out that image of the builder and the house for a second. What should we replace it with? What's a better way to visualize this? Okay, picture this. Water in a jar. Water itself is, well, it's formless, right? It's the jar that gives it a shape. But, and this is the key part, that shape only exists as long as the jar is there. The second you break the jar, the shape is instantly gone. The jar's influence is continuous. The act of giving the shape and the act of sustaining the shape are the exact same thing. Or how about this one? The sun and its light. The sun is just this constant, unending source. It's always pouring out light. It's not like it made a batch of light one time and then stopped. No, it's a continuous, uninterrupted act of giving. And the sun doesn't create darkness, does it? Darkness is just what happens when the light isn't there. Any shadows, any dimness, that's all because of what's receiving the light.
not because the sun changed.
So when you pull all these ideas together, you arrive at this final, really coherent picture, the constant source of being.
And the shift in thinking is it's total. We go from thinking about a cause as this temporary force that just gets things started to a continuous source that gives existence itself. We move from a need that's historical, something in the past, to a need that's intrinsic, part of its very being. And we go from a creator who can pack up and leave to a source whose presence is absolutely essential, always.
The ultimate takeaway is captured so perfectly in that light analogy. The source describes it like this. If the giver of light were to cease giving, even for a moment, all things would instantly return to their essential, native darkness. Existence doesn't slowly decay. Without the source, it just reverts to non-existence, instantly.
So you see, from this perspective, creation and sustenance, they aren't two separate acts. They are one single, unbroken, continuous act of giving on one side and receiving on the other.
So, I want to leave you with this final thought. If this model is how things really are, it changes everything. If your existence isn't something you have, but something you are continuously receiving right now, in this very moment, what does that imply? It's a profound thought. Thanks for joining us.